watching GVTV News.
Thanks, Gloria, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's World News headlines, first funerals held for victims of Newtown massacre, and Obama vows action on gun violence at Newtown vigil, and calls for gun control, mental health services at White House vigil, and Feinstein vows to reintroduce assault weapons ban, and report administration scrapped gun reforms ahead of the 2012 election, and nationwide shootings, threats after Newtown massacre, and opposition claims rigged vote as Egyptian referendum approved, and 25 reportedly killed in attack on Syrian refugee camp, and 20 killed in bombings of Shiite sites in Iraq, and toll in Philippines typhoon hits 1,020, and U.S. rejects new UN treaty on internet governance, and Walmart workers stage protests in U.S. and 9 other countries, and California church threatens for hosting Muslim groups convention. GVTV News is broadcast at Grass Valley Television Division of Rural County Television's network, whose focus is on community involvement, and also we air on NCTV. But before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. In today's first world news story, President Obama has vowed to take action against gun violence in the United States following the shooting rampage that left 27 people dead, including 20 young children, in Newtown, Connecticut. All the children were aged between 6 and 7. It was the deadliest rampage of an elementary school in U.S. history. Gunman 20-year-old Adam Lanza shot his mother dead at home before driving to the Sandy Hook Elementary School, forcing his way inside armed with a high-powered rifle, 2 handguns, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Lanza shot up 2 classrooms, kindergarten and first grade, before taking his own life as police arrived at the scene. Lanza still had hundreds of additional rounds of ammo and another weapon in his car, suggesting he would have carried out more shootings had the police not closed in. 12 of the victims were girls and 8 were boys. All 6 of the adult victims were women. The school victims all appeared to have suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Connecticut Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Wayne Carver called the crime scene the worst he had ever witnessed. He said, "I've been at this for a third of a century. It's my sensibility may not be the average man, but this probably is the worst I have seen, the worst that I know of and any of my colleagues have seen. We did not bring the bodies and the families into contact. We took pictures of them, of their facial features. It's easier on the families when you do that." The first of the funeral services for Newtown victims began, with more to follow throughout the week. At a vigil with the victims Sunday night, President Obama vowed unspecified action to curb gun violence in the United States. He said, "In coming weeks, I will use whatever power this office holds to engage my fellow citizens, from law enforcement to mental health professionals to parents and educators, in an effort aimed at preventing more tragedies like this. Because what choices do we have? We can't accept events like this as routine, as we really prepare to say we're powerless to face such carnage, that politics are too hard, as we prepare to say that such violence visited to our children year after year after year is somehow the price of our freedom." Among the 6 adults who were killed, all women, was the principal and the psychologist, both who had lunged at the shooter when he first came into the school, teachers protecting their students. As news of the massacre spread on Friday, a group of demonstrators gathered outside the White House called for stricter gun controls and better services for the mentally ill. Tobik Quaranta said, I think that the problem with identifying mental illness in this country, I think we have a real problem with treating people who have problems. We need to break that taboo. We need to solve it. Otherwise, we're going to be here again and again and again. Randall Luttenberg said, guns are created for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to kill. Assault weapons are designed to kill as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. They have no place in our society, have no place in our communities, and there's no claim of rights or sport or anything in my mind that justifies that. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein of California has already promised to introduce a new assault weapons ban on the first day of new Congress, challenging President Obama to back the bill. New York Times reports the Obama administration abandoned a series of gun control measures 1 year ago. As the 2012 election approached, House Republicans pushed the probe of the gun sting Operation Fast and Furious, drafted after the January 2011 shooting rampage in Tucson, Arizona. Justice Department recommendations centered on improving and expanding the national background check system to reduce access to weapons for criminals and the mentally ill. The list includes several proposals that Obama could have enacted by executive order had he chosen to take action. As the nation mourns the Newtown victims, a number of additional threats and shootings have been reported since the massacre. Newtown churches evacuated on Sunday after police responded to a threat against those inside. An Indiana man equipped with a 47-gun arsenal was arrested on Sunday after allegedly threatening to kill children at a local elementary school. Oklahoma police arrested an 18-year-old high school student on Friday who was allegedly planning a school shooting massacre. In Newport Beach, California, an alleged gunman was arrested after reportedly firing 50 shots at a mall parking lot. In San Antonio, Texas, 2 men were reportedly injured in a shooting at a movie theater Sunday night. Egyptian voters headed to the polls on Saturday in a referendum on a controversial draft constitution, according to unofficial preliminary results. Documents passed the first round with 57% of the vote, with turnout of 31%. Second round is scheduled for this Saturday in remaining areas. A coalition of human rights groups has called for a re-vote, citing thousands of complaints of violations in polls, including a lack of full judicial supervision. At the news conference, Khalid Dawood of the opposition National Salvation Front accused authorities of rigging the outcome. He said, "We also condemn the clear process of rigging of the will of the Egyptian people through regular violations of the draft of the referendum in the first stage, which went beyond the rigging which used to take place under the former regime, which was overthrown by January 25th revolution. We also asked the committee overseeing the referendum to look seriously into the demand made by the NGOs today of the first round of the referendum should it be repeated in light of dangerous violations which were reported in all stages, including the counting." At least 25 people were reportedly been killed in the latest Syrian government bombing of a Palestinian refugee camp in Damascus. The attack in the district of Yarmouk comes amidst fears the Syrian military is preparing a full on-ground assault to displace rebels from their positions. During a visit to neighboring Lebanon, UN High Commissioner for Refugees Antonio Guterres warned that the conflict in Syria is likely to get worse. He said, "It is high time for the international community to understand that this is not a conflict like many others. We are witnessing brutal fights with tragic humanitarian consequences, and things are evolving in a way that makes us foresee the possibility of 2013 being much more dramatic than 2012. In Iraq, at least 20 people have been killed in a series of car bombings outside of Shiite temples. The violence comes one day after at least 19 people died in attacks nationwide. And the number of people killed this month's massive typhoon in the southern Philippines has surpassed 1,020. The total expected to rise. Aid officials say more than 850 people remain missing. The United States has refused to sign into a new United Nations treaty calling for all countries to have equal say in the governance of the Internet. A UN conference in a new global international communications treaty ended Friday with an agreement to bring the Internet under UN auspices. But the United States, along with key allies, including Britain and Canada, refused to join, saying UN jurisdiction would hand too much control to unfavorable governments. The treaty is slated to take effect in 2015. Protests were held around the world Friday and called attention to labor practices at the retail giant Walmart, Workers in the U.S. and 9 other countries rallied at Walmart stores and subsidiaries to denounce the company's alleged attempts to silence workers seeking to unionize and reform workplace conditions. Aside from the United States, the demonstrations took place in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Nicaragua, Canada, Britain, South Africa, Zambia, and India. National Advocacy Group of the Muslim Public Affairs Council held its annual gathering at a California church on Saturday, overcoming threats spurred by right-wing Christian groups. The Institute of Religion and Democracy denounced Pasadena's All Saints Church after it became the first church to host a U.S. Muslim group's national convention. Organizers sought the protection of police and private security after the church was flooded with hate mail. And that's it for our world news today. Now, another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News.
Soundcheck Music Center, the Rock and Roll Connection. We have guitars, amps, drum equipment, sound accessories, lessons, and repairs. We are located at 671 Maltman Drive, Grass Valley. 530-272-7236, open 7 days a week.
No one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend. John is in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't.
That's right, it's time for the police blotter and pictures in the blotter, not from these actual events, but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County Law Enforcement. Grass Valley Police Department on Thursday, 9:10 a.m., a caller from East Main Street and Hughes Road reported hearing 5 gunshots. 9:41 a.m., a man from 100 block of Neal Street reported someone took $1,500 from his wallet inside his truck, December 11th. And 10:39 a.m., a caller from 300 block of Marshall Street reported vehicles vandalizing the area. Nothing was located. 10:53 a.m., a caller from Memorial Park reported 2 adults were letting a pit bull chew and destroy swings at the play area. Another caller reported physical fight. Man was arrested, suspicion of battery and outstanding warrant. 12:15 p.m., caller from 200 block of Biggs Avenue reported theft of items from a residence. The situation was mediated. Property was to be exchanged. 1:26 p.m., caller from 1300 block of East Main Street reported finding needles in front of her business. At 2:09 p.m., a caller from D. Martino Park reported an injury and malnourished dog that had appeared to have been abandoned. It was taken to the shelter. 2:16 p.m., caller from 100 block of Mill Street reported an assault victim sought treatment but did not want charges. At 3:29 p.m., caller from South Church and Chapel Street reported a man had been lying in the pews with his arms in the air all day and was walking around and acting strange. He could not be located. At 6:19 p.m., a woman from 300 block of Dorsey Drive reported elder abuse. At 8:32 p.m., a caller from business in 200 block of East Main Street reported a dine and dash. 9:48 p.m., a woman from 300 block of Bennett Street reported a man stole her cell phone. He was arrested on an outstanding warrant. At 10:40 p.m., caller from 100 block of South School Street reported people fighting with a woman crying. Caller reported a woman had been assaulted and needed treatment. Friday, 2:27 a.m., caller from 200 block of Dorsey Drive reported a man threw items around a house and hurt a woman and her daughter. In Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Thursday, 8:13 a.m., caller from 16,000 block of Curtis Court reported a burglary to a garage overnight. At 10:27 a.m., a woman from 10,000 block of Logue Lane reported dog killing chickens. At 2:21 p.m., a caller from 14,000 block of Greenwood Court reported identity theft. At 4:37 p.m., caller from 21,000 block of Running Horse Road reported a man was drunk and tearing up stuff. 6:59 p.m., caller from Bannock Quaker at Hill Road reported a juvenile had assaulted his mother. He was eventually taken for a mental health evaluation. At 7:41 p.m., caller from Cooper Road reported physical fight between a man and a woman regarding a baby. Another caller reported a kidnapping. juvenile was arrested on unknown charges. At 8:44 p.m., a woman from 29,000 block of Highway 49 reported a person punched her in the face and choked her. She declined medical attention and could not be located. Friday, 12:10 a.m., a girl from 13,000 block of Red Dog Road reported a mother choked her. The report was unfounded. The girl had been disciplined for failing grades and trying to steal a phone charger. At 2:57 a.m., a caller from Daniels Drive in Janaski Road reported shooting or fireworks. Second call reported the same thing at 3:45 a.m. 3:48 a.m., a woman from 14,000 block on Maidu Trail reported a man busted up her car. It was found to be verbal dispute only. And Nevada City Police Department on Thursday, 2:40 p.m., a caller from Bost Avenue and Hollow Way reported a theft. At 11:05 a.m., a caller from Gracie Road and Gold Flat Roads reported a drunken driver who could not be located. And that's it for the blotter today. Now, another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it is us, GVTV News. Christopher's Old World Deli and Catering Company has brought its delicious food and service downtown Grass Valley. Like desserts? They got them. You like international style lunches? They got them. Christopher's Deli and Catering for parties, get-togethers, weddings, or whatever. Open 7 days a week. In today's local news, NID employees get 1% raise. The Nevada Irrigation District has approved a labor agreement with the NID Employees Association that calls for a 1% cost of living wage adjustment and is retroactive to July 1st. District employees who have not had wage adjustments for 3 years were also granted a 3% adjustment effective July 1st, 2013 as part of a 2-year employment agreement. NID's Board of Directors approved the agreement on November 7th. Terms of the labor contract were the same as those granted in October 24th agreement with district employees who are represented by the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, or the AFSCME. The two groups represent most of the district's workforce. The other business NID directors did was heard an update from Chief Engineer Gary King, who reported that construction and landscape restoration on the 2-year $41 million Banner Cascade Pipeline project are complete, except for a few remaining tasks, and congratulated Division 3 Director Scott Miller and Division 5 Director Nick Wilcox, who were re-elected to new 4-year terms in November 6th general election. They held a workshop on district draft budget for 2013, which is proposed $53 million, down 14% from last year. Much of the decreases in capital spending attributable to completion of the larger Banner Cascade Pipeline project. Directors expected to adopt the budget in December. Trying to get some coverage for John Trudell.
Help me make it through.
Tribal chairman of this area.
Asasaka.
I want to welcome Willie for the community and the Chayakamaiti tribe. I'd like to give Willie a little something from the tribe so he can remember us.
Still moving to me. Still moving to me. Still moving to me. Grandpappy told my pappy back in my day, son, a man had to answer for the wicked he done. Take all the rope and Texas from a tall oak tree. Round up all them bad boys, pack them high in the street. We got too many gangsters doing dirty deeds. Too much corruption and crime in the streets. The law of the law put a few in the ground. So help me make it through the night. Leave me a tip if you can, cause I'm a shoe shine man. I can sing, I can dance, I can play the harmonica too. I got a brand new thing called the Southside Montgomery Blues.
Hope you like it. I like it. It's called 912. It's called, what the hell? I'll just sing it. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It'll never do, somehow. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm a-traveling on, but don't think twice, it's alright.
Someone said I never gave it down, honey, the damn sure told you wrong. That rising fever all along. Sitting on the worst was yet to come. The crying time for me had just begun.
That's it for local news today. We would like to thank Amy Goodman, Reuters, Associated Press, Ubinet, Sierra Foothills Report, the Union, local law enforcement, and others for the sourcing of our news, and you for watching. Remember, we are the only visual video news media in Nevada County, and we are free for you to watch 7 days a week. If you have local stories and would like to have them aired on our news, please email us with a limit the story to 750 words, and if you have pictures, please include them in the email to grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com. Please include some type of contact information for verification of facts. You can watch this broadcast on Comcast Cable, NCTV, Channel 11 in Nevada County, 8 a.m., 3 p.m., 7:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m., Saturday, and 8 p.m. Sunday, and Suddenlink Channel 16 in Truckee and Alta-Sierra, same times. We also are streamed on the internet, NCTV's Digital Media Center website at NevadaCountyTV.org and our website, GVTV.org. And don't forget Grass Valley Television, that plays 24/7 on the net, GrassValleyTelevision.com. We post to Facebook, YouTube, Blip.tv, and many other sites, and have RSS feed and video podcast on iTunes. Just search under video podcast for GVTV News. Grass Valley Television also videotapes local events around Nevada County. If you have a need for video, you can contact us for more info at grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com or 530-362-8889. This show produced by Grass Valley Television of Rural Counties Television Network. We hope you will stay tuned to us for this next season as we're going to spice up the news in the future. You can always email us ideas and comments, and if you like us on Facebook, we like that. News player can be in. Well, it's another holiday season. GVTV News would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This show is our holiday special as we are taking next week off for the holidays. So enjoy it, and thanks for watching us, and we love the support.